And the thing is this: whenever there's a genre of music, as long as it evolves, it means that it's not dead. The real question is the Zouk that I like, or the Zouk that I'm used to, which is the Zouk from the 90s, the 2000s, is this Zouk still around, or did it evolve into different things? There's a full generation of Portuguese people who listened to Zouk growing up, plus compa, plus their own music, and the mixtures of these musics are the kizomba, the urban keys, the new compa, which is compa influence Zouk influence compa, then you know, like kids growing up in America brought a little bit of the new flavors to compa, etc. Like with every generation, people take what is old and they make it new again. So the real question is, do I enjoy this iteration, or am I so used to the iteration that I like that I don't accept that it changed? But yo, listen, Dadju, Maître Gims, Aya Nakamura, they all do Zouk and reggaeton. Drake, people in Nigeria, like everybody's doing Zouk. Like, so nobody can say Zouk is dead unless you limit Zouk as being the Zouk in Creole with the if it's the case, then this version of Zouk, it lost the momentum because it's been around for long. But it doesn't mean that it cannot come back in 10 years, because by the time we are all 50, 60, the people who are 15, 20, either they will invent some new stuff, or either they will find something old and they'll be like, yo, and then boom, and they will call it something else, but it will be Zouk. Because if you look at reggaeton is always dead at a point, and then it comes back, and then it dies, and then it comes back, and then it moves, and then it's mixed, and we are in a, because we are in an era where you open Spotify, you have access to all the music in the world. You also have access to all the inspiration in the world. So I think no music dies. It just gets, sometimes, like, I remember when Congolese music was everything every African was listening to. And before that, it was Cameroon music. And at a point, it became Ivory Coast music. And then at a point, now it's Nigerian music and Ghanaian music. And now the Nigerian are using a lot of reggaeton, a lot of Zouk, a lot of kizomba elements, and a lot of dancehall. But they add their own flavor in there, and they mix, and then now Amapiano is exploding from South Africa, and it's spreading all over because of TikTok, Spotify, playlist, etc. And somebody will take the Amapiano out of South Africa, make something out of it that is a little different, do an iteration. If it's a Zouk artist, maybe they will do a Amapiano Zouk something, and then boom, and it will continue. It's like language. Language is alive. Some words that we use today, 10 years ago, it was slang. 10 years ago, it was stuff that, and now those things are changing. I remember when Fally Ipupa, my friend Fally Ipupa, did Tokos, the first one, and a lot of Congolese were pissed because they were like, yo, what is this? What kind of, like, this is not This is not number one. But he had his strategy. I'm opening up to the world. And then he did another Dombolo album, Congolese, pure original album. And then he did Tokos too. Because he's also opening up to other people. And using, having Matt Pokora singing Lingala, yo. This is evolution, and this is how you bring people inside of your space, and then they go listen to other things. And maybe some of the people who will listen to these things, they will change it to something different as well. That's how I did On Dit Quoi. That's how I did all my albums. All my albums, I have no song that I can say this is a pure Zouk track, or this is a pure Kizomba track, or this is a pure compa track. I always mix with other things. And it's interesting when people say something like, what was the question? Is Zouk is dead, and how can we, comment on peut le relancer? That's the thing where it's not dead. So, and it's everywhere actually. It's just that people don't want to say the name. And that's funny, it's because it's in France. If we were in the US, everybody would be like, oh, the Zouk craze. Like here in Portugal, when Kizomba exploded and everybody started doing Kizomba, including non-Kizomba artists, everybody was in the radio. Yo, this is the Kizomba fever, Kizomba this, Kizomba that. Because it's in France, they don't want to say that it's Zouk. The rappers don't want to say I'm doing Zouk or Kizomba or reggaeton. But listen, Aya Nakamura, sorry, so sorry. Aya Nakamura music, a lot of these songs are Zouk songs or Kizomba songs or reggaeton songs. Like the rest of the world. Justin Bieber and the world is becoming like a big, huge marketplace where everybody does what they want and nobody can, like, you know. So I think the question is a little tricky, and I believe that what you have to do is say, okay, this version of Zouk that I like, it's the one that I want to come back. And for this, it just the artists who have to do their homework. And a lot of artists, they got lazy. They did the same music since Zouk Bordel. Everybody was doing the same copy of that song. So at a point when everybody moves on, the world moves on, it feels like the market is dead. It's just because the market went somewhere else. The market is global now. So, but I have an upcoming, I've been saying this for a year, but I'm going to do a special when I want to talk about really Zouk, Kizomba, Compa, like the origin of the music and where it's going. Faut laisser les gens décider. C'est quoi ça? Accueille nos invités gentiment. I don't think Zouk is dead at all. I've heard some nice newer songs from a few artists. Yeah, listen. I don't think at all either. It's just maybe the people that one generation of artists, generation 2003, 2005, that generation of artists, somehow they got stuck in doing the same stuff. And even when they do new music, it sounds exactly like the songs of back in the days. And I mean, it can be a choice, but at a point you have to adapt to the times and try to make your sound the same. And at the same time, you have to move on to what the new people like. Because when you get 40 years old like me, my son never asked me about artists that I know or that I familiar with. Yeah, he's 18. So for him he has all his French rappers, and I know none of these guys. But yeah, yo, Dad, you should do a track with that. I was like, yeah, okay. But it's normal. And this is the times. So If I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep doing my thing, then at the point I get in the rear view. And I'm a guy, I like to be ahead of times. So I'm always trying new stuff, and I love working with new artists for that reason as well. Because when you work with new artists and or younger people, it helps you also stay current, or it brings you some new ideas as well. You have to keep an open mind. Indeed. Yeah, but sometimes people do too much, like when Portuguese people turn fado into kizomba and things like that. I mean, listen, why not? I heard a fado from Marisa in a club. Somebody did a house music remix. This shit was fire. That was dope. Listen, me, I'm not a purist, so I believe that artists have to try stuff, because either we try stuff and sometimes we do too much, but that's by doing too much that you create something new, or either we just stay where people want us to be and we never change. And then the same people who telling us, don't change, be yourself. The same people in 10 years, they will be like, yeah, you old, man. Like, come on, man. Like, this sound is old. What? Yeah, man. You have to do reggaeton now. So, I believe that it's tricky with the fans, because the fans are schizophrenic a bit as sometimes they want you to do something, and then a few years later the same people are like, yeah, but you should have done that. You missed the train, bro. And for me, I believe that when you're an artist, you propose things and you see who enjoys it. If people enjoy it, fine. If people don't enjoy it, fine. At least you propose something. Now you can go back to doing what they want, or to propose something else. And then some artists will decide that they really want to be where the money is, where they want to be commercial. They want to stick to exactly what works, and it's fine. Some others want to keep doing exactly the same style and not move, and it's fine as well. They're like, oh no, I want to protect this version of whatever music. And it's funny because when people think of Zouk, sometimes they think of Zouk from the 2000s, which is already an evolution. The Zouk of the 2000 was a mix of Zouk, compa, and a little bit of R&B that we did. The real Zouk is the kassav one from the 70s, 79, 80s, etc. That's the real Zouk. And even that was a little mixture of Begin, of Gwoka, of Guadeloupe and Martinique sound, plus Senegalese sound, plus this, plus that, plus funk. Zouk was already a mix of different things, influences from compa, etc., etc. So every year things move, things change, new people arrive, they add new stuff, and that's how music goes. So yeah, I believe that you will always find artists or songs that you like that will take you to where you want, and you should listen to those ones. And if you have an artist, because I said it before, but it's fine, I can say it again. A lot of times people complain about the state of whatever genre, but then they don't support. They don't stream, they download from YouTube. So the artist makes no money. So sometimes the artists that you like, that you really, really like, they're like, well, nobody's listening to me. Fuck it, I'm out.